We write every day. And while spelling and grammar checking tools are constantly improving, we still can't count on software to catch all of our mistakes. So here are the top 10 grammar tips you should always keep in mind. Tip number 1, beware of dangling modifiers. Ben went into the office around noon. After checking emails, the morning meeting began. Seems like a few innocent sentences, right? Except that in the last phrase, it almost seems like the morning meeting was checking its emails. This is a dangling modifier. It means that the part of the sentence that adds specificity or modifies isn't clear about its subject. This results in an awkward moment for the reader and can lead to miscommunication. Make sure it's always clear who is doing what. Tip number 2, watch that punctuation. Punctuation can completely change the meaning of a sentence if it's not done correctly. For example, Sarah enjoys cooking, her family, and her dog. That sounds lovely. Whereas, Sarah enjoys cooking her family and her dog sounds awful. Read your work out loud to hear the punctuation. Tip number 3, own your possessives. Of course, you know the difference between there, and there. Same thing with its and its, but we all mess up from time to time. The best tip is to read with the full version of the contractions in mind. This way, you can avoid the typos that we all make. They are getting ready for the presentation. It is raining outside. Get into this habit and you'll avoid some embarrassing mistakes. Tip number 4, double check tricky words. Some words are easy to misspell, like embarrass, harass, or privilege. Some words also sound alike but have very different meanings, such as accept, accept. Read over your work and double check these sneaky words. Tip number 5, master sentence structure basics. A sentence always starts with a capital letter and ends with either a period, a question mark, or an exclamation point. A sentence always has a subject and a verb. It should be able to stand on its own. This doesn't mean sentences have to be long. Even a 3-word sentence like Danielle learns quickly is grammatically correct. Beware of run-on sentences, which often have too many ideas jammed into one sentence. Beware of sentence fragments. These are sentences that don't contain a complete thought. For example, David's paper. Tip number 6, commas, commas, and commas. Another sentence structure basic is appropriately using commas. Commas generally follow after coordinating conjunctions such as and, but, which, or, yet, and so. Commas allow the reader to pause and must always separate items in a list. Jenny went out to get toothpaste, soap, and paper towels. The Oxford comma is the comma placed before the final item in your list, which is always preceded with the word and. Tip number 7, use active voice. Active voice is when the subject in the sentence is doing the action. A passive voice is when the action is being done to the subject. Active voice keeps the reader in the present, whereas passive voice tends to bore. For example, the report was sent to Harry this morning, versus Harry received the report this morning. In his first sentence, Harry is passive. The action is being done to him. In the second sentence, Harry is doing the action, and so he is active. Tip number 8, be consistent with tenses. The dog runs quickly and caught the ball with ease. Here we've switched from present tense to past tense, resulting in an awkward sentence. The dog ran quickly and caught the ball with ease. That works fine, as does the dog runs quickly and catches the ball with ease. Tip number 9, stick to the same pronouns. The teachers went to the library and there he took out a book. Ooh. Any student who submits their paper late will lose a full letter grade. Both these sentences switch the pronouns and go from plural to singular or vice versa. This happens when we try to be gender neutral, but if we're not careful, it ends up looking inconsistent. Instead, either stick to plural or singular to avoid this issue. The teachers went to the library and there they took out some books. The students who submit their papers late will lose a full letter grade. And last but not least, the most important tip of all. Tip number 10, avoid most mistakes by keeping things simple. We tend to make the most mistakes when we're trying to convey complex ideas. Don't be afraid to break up thoughts into concise sentences. And those are the top 10 grammar tips for making sure your writing is flawless. Don't forget to proofread.